down the bit.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to call the public, or F&A meeting to order. Please note attendance of all committee members are here, mayor and staff. With that, we'll move into approval of the agenda. I move to approve the agenda. Are any recommendations for changes or additions? Hearing none, unless there are objections, I will consider the agenda approved as presented. We're approved. Let's go ahead and move into it. I got to back up though. First, let's go to public comments. Are there any members of the public wishing to make comment before the committee before we get into the rest of the agenda? Please raise your hand in person or on the Zoom meeting. I see no hands, and panelists are more than able. Well, all we have is panelists, and you're more than able to come off mute and say, "Hey, my hand's up." All right, so let's move on. Let's go to minutes. Approval of the minutes dated April 18th, 2023. Draft minutes are attached in. Are there any comments or revisions to the minutes as presented? The chair has none.
Nope.
Okay. If there are no revisions or comments, we will take, unless there are objections, we will take the minutes as presented as approved. Hearing no objections, the minutes are approved. Moving on to agenda item number 2, consideration of claims approval report dated May 18th, 2023. Claims approval report is linked off the agenda. I have received no email communication in question of the warrants or claims report, nor does chair have any questions or changes.
Questions?
All right. Mr. Councilman Washington, you all right?
I'm sorry, sir.
Are you okay with the warrants as presented?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so lesser objections, we will proceed with the warrants approved as presented. I do have a follow-up question though. There used to be documentation for the chair to sign. I haven't signed for a while.
It's my fault I stopped signing.
Is there still a no?
Years.
Yeah, haven't done it for years.
Oh, okay.
Your predecessor stopped doing that.
Stop doing that. Sneaky bug. Anyway, all right, let's go on to this. We have no agenda bills. We'll go on to discussion items, committee reform discussion. I see we do have the presentation here.
Yes.
Okay, who wants to, do we want to review the material here or we want to just do this in council? I will make comment that chair did request a review of this prior to the meeting. I've received no communications prior to this meeting in regards to this.
I sent it to you last week.
Sent it to me last week.
Oops.
All right, chair. Really? Okay.
So what was your comment?
Chair stands corrected.
Thank you.
Okay, I will accept. I'm not going to go through my email. All right. Again, are we?
I mean, I'm happy to go over it with you, or I did provide everything in the packet except for the presentation, which I provided a paper copy tonight.
Counselor, go ahead.
Yeah, I would say, first off, this discussion, I think, is a full council discussion. I think we ought to just take it on to the council. Separate from that, though, I think the idea that we'd have a 15-page presentation and never have seen it before at a committee meeting, I just don't think we can work this way. I can't think through a 15-page presentation and all the pros and cons here just on the fly. I think doing it this way just makes us useless as a committee. I really think this needs to go out to the council well in advance in the advanced materials so that people have a chance to think about it and Otherwise just council or a committee trying to act under the gun without time to think about things is the exact opposite of good government.
So can we get this sent out to council tomorrow morning? That way we've got almost a week in advance of council for everyone to review. Okay. All right, I'm okay with just, let's move this to council, have discussion at that stage.
I agree. Definitely walk through the proposal, but I'd like to take some time to kind of reflect on it.
Okay. And case in point, like I said, the best way to get a hold of me is by sending me a text. I apologize for my email habits, but they are what they are. Okay, let's move on to the rest of the agenda.
Sure.
Yes.
Just point out that the air in the room tonight might be a perfect example of why we need the air conditioning. So I think we did a good thing passing that bill. Feels a little
Except
heavy.
this is the one room
That does
in
have
the
air
building
conditioning.
that does have air conditioning. But yes, upstairs is gonna get hot.
Yep.
All right, upcoming agenda bill, informational only, Meadowbrook Farm ILA. Who would talk to that one?
Those are just that they'll be coming forth in the next few weeks.
Oh, okay, not for discussion tonight?
No, not for discussion.
Okay. We used to have whatever. All right, let's review the draft agenda. Down to page 5. All right.
So we jumped over fee for service agreement.
All those items are future discussion items.
Could I comment on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Mayor, just curious, your thought. It occurred to me as I was kind of thinking through this agenda that possibly it might make some sense. I think this would be an executive session type topic because it's to do with negotiations but it seemed like maybe the rough outline of what what the city's putting together in regard to the fee for services might be worth kind of running past the council so that they're aware, just on the idea that if there was any significantly different thoughts, that might be something that that would be helpful to surface earlier in the process than later. But I defer to you, but I just wanted to bring up the suggestion for you to consider.
Right? That's probably a good idea for next Monday.
Yeah, maybe we had a executive session to go over it. Yeah.
Right. We'll have some discussion tomorrow and kind of get a flavor for things, so.
Okay. So, help me out with the council agendas in the package. I got a council regular hybrid meeting starting at 6 p.m.
Look at your,
What is that?
What are you looking at?
I'm assuming that's July 18th, so that I don't understand why that's in there. All right, moving forward.
it's part of your presentation.
Let's move to the agenda as started on May 8th at 7 p.m.
Are we gonna do roundtable or no?
Okay. All right, call to order. We'll have agenda approval, pledge of allegiance, public hearings, appointments, fire badge, pending introduction to staff, presentations, council retreat, follow-up discussion. Agenda Bill 059, Snoqualmie Housing Action Plan. And that's just a presentation?
Yeah.
Okay.
That they're going over the plan, the draft plan with us. They presented it at CD. Yeah. Yeah, they presented it at CD, and this is presenting it, but it's just to go over the draft and kind of what's in there and so on, so that council members are kind of aware of what's in there, have a chance to think about it, give any input.
It was just informational to the council?
Correct.
Okay. All right, and then proclamation, National Police Week proclamation and National EMS Week proclamation. Then we'll get into public comments, requests for items on the agenda. We'll approve the council minutes, approve claims report, ordinances, and committee reports. Public safety has no items, community development has no items, public work has resolution approving purchase order for WRF Headworks screen belt and resolution selecting parametrics for the construction management Snoqualmie Parkway rehabilitation project. I thought number 9 was on consent per the last meeting.
It'll come off regardless. I'll pull it off.
Okay, well,
It's up to you.
all right. Councilor Mayo's advice, he'll pull it off, so why don't we just leave it off? I can advise Chair, it would come off anyway. All right. So resolution approving purchases of order warehouse belt system, resolution selecting parametric construction management, Snoqualmie Park rehabilitation project, and then finance administration. We will have, I thought I saw that twice in here, committee reform discussion. And can we get an item for within committee of the whole, no, never mind. Committee of the whole, then we'll get a report, mayor's report, commission committee liaison reports, department reports, and closed executive session. I do have at least one item that I'd like to discuss in closed executive session. Are there others?
Oh, we talked about, is that the same item
Same item of OT and
for service?
staff positions.
That's a different item.
So to that, and then
I'll talk with you offline about the overtime issue that we texted about earlier.
Okay, well, I'm still just looking for some data.
Yeah.
And really data to the council members from the chew on. Okay. All right, and we'll adjourn after the executive sessions. And maybe we can even have no actions out of those executive sessions and pre-adjourn before we go in. Mayor had her,
Okay,
most
so-
of her hand up.
So under appointments, most likely we'll add planning commission and EDC appointment. And then you mentioned the 058, that is consent. AB 23.
Oh, It was consent coming out of committee. Councilor Mayor has advised he's gonna pull it off, but let's do it consent and we'll
Right, you have to do it.
pull
with-
it.
yeah,
Right.
follow the
We-
process.
What the
We
committee
should,
said.
we
Right.
should adhere to what the committee wanted.
That's right.
Correct.
Okay. And you had your hand up?
Oh, I know, it's just a little bit in the weeds, but just suggestion, Mayor, maybe your thought on this, but it seemed to me that it might flow better if we went appointments, proclamations, then presentations, just with regards to people that might be present for those that then might not stay. Just thought I'd throw out that suggestion.
Right, because it would fall under appointments, which is first.
Right, so we go appointments and then proclamations and then presentations might. There
Oh,
might
I
be-
see. With
Yeah.
Oh, you want those here for the
proclamations?
proclamations to be able to get out before the presentation?
Well,
Under presentation.
I think appointments, presentations, then proclamations, because we have a presentation by Una.
Right, it's just if you have anybody here to accept on behalf of any of the proclamations, they'll have to sit through those presentations. That's just as,
We don't,
let's not be mean to them.
except the chiefs.
The chiefs, they have to stay anyway.
He's got to be here anyway. All right. All right, any other comments or we'll proceed with the council agenda as suggested? Or as present, or as revised during our discussion? Hearing no objections, the council agenda as revised is approved. Thank you very much. And I believe that might just be, that is the agenda for tonight. Are there any pop-up items anybody wants to discuss? Councilor Mayhew?
Yeah, just a question, are you folks okay with us taking these, or should we turn these in and wait for the one that comes out?
You can take it.
It's okay, okay.
Okay. All right, if not, unless there are objections, we are adjourned. Thank you all.